Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and turn on notifications so that you will receive alerts when there are new episodes. Go get it.
That's what I tell them. I've been grinding for so long, I wake up and chase my goals. I go out and I go get it. How to code, that's all I know. I don't succeed, then I don't breathe. Success, what does it mean? If I conquer all my goals, then I'm living out my dream. Dig deep, go out and get it. Success Chronicles. Compete until it's finished. Success Chronicles. Go take care of your business. Success Chronicles. It's deeper than just winning. Success Chronicles.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Chip Baker coming to you with another episode of the Success Chronicles, and we are here with Miss NaTasha Grimes, an amazing lady doing some great things, and so excited to have her on and share her journey with you. So first, thanks so much for taking the time to interview with the Success Chronicles.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. I appreciate you having me on.
Yes, yes. So let's dive into it. I know, when we connected, we talked about, your journey and, some of your background and some of the awesome things you've been blessed and fortunate to achieve. But if you don't mind, just, share some of that with the audience so they have an idea of who you are and what it is you do.
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is NaTasha Grimes, and I do a lot of different things. Sometimes I'm wondering, like, okay, are you trying to do too much? So I'll get to that in a minute. But I am originally from Virginia, a small town called Scottsville, Virginia. It's a rural area just outside of Charlottesville, Virginia. I always have to give like the disclaimer of trying to figure out where we are. We're the geographical center. I'm in Buckingham County. I was born and raised in Buckingham County, which is the geographical center of Virginia. So if you look it up on the map, you will see that little county right there, and that's where I'm from. And so grew up there in a very small town, which had one stoplight. It's now up to two stoplights. So we were very excited to get that second stoplight. And when I was there, we didn't even have any fast food restaurants. There is now a McDonald's there.
Man, you're doing it.
So I have to always
I know that
share
life
that.
in my hometown too. I know that life.
Yeah, because people, when they look at where, someone is now, they don't necessarily
Right.
see that part and understand that. So I like to share that part of my story. But I am a first generation college student, a graduate, attendee, and I'll get into that. It depends on how much you want to dive in. And I was thinking about today, like, how did I even get to go to college? I knew nothing about going to college. My dad, as we talked about, is one of 19 children. He was one of 15 boys and 4 girls. And he quit school when he was in the 6th grade because he had to go to work and help his family. He had to help his parents take care of his younger siblings. He was the 3rd from the oldest. And it sounds like something, like you would see in a movie, but this is his real story and my real story.
Yeah.
Even though he had only a 6th grade education, my father was the example for me to learn to love education because he was a reader. My father is a minister. And so one thing I would always see him do is read his Bible. I mean, every day he was reading it. And then he was the person who not only read it, but he knew it. He could apply it. And that was inspiring. But then he also read books. So even though he didn't have a formal education, I'll say my father is one of the smartest, most educated people that I know.
Yeah.
And so that's part of my story. That's the beginning of it. And then fast forward, I went and got my degree. There's a story behind that too of how that actually took place. But my degree in education, I taught for over 10 years and then transitioned careers into corporate America, did a little bit of dabbling in insurance. And now I'm also, in addition to being in corporate America, an entrepreneur. So it's a lot going on, but I'm always grateful for the beginning of my story, which started in that little town of Scottsville in Buckingham County.
I love it. I love it. Well, what are 3 things you've accomplished in your life that you're proud of?
I will say the number one thing is being happily married to my husband for 31 years. And the reason I say that, one, because a lot of people don't make it in marriage, right? So that's the first thing. That's the first thing. But not only that, but we met when I was 15 years old. I was 15 years old. My husband was 17. We met. And when we met, he told me I was going to be his wife. And I was like, this man, this boy, at that time, this boy is crazy. Like,
Yeah.
what are you talking about?
Boy,
So
stop.
clearly he saw something that I didn't see. But through that, we've been together, for 31 years. We got married for him right out of college. And, I told the story of me being in college, but part of that story was the hiccup of where I was pregnant my junior year in college. And so we decided, we were, the good Christian thing to do is we're going to go ahead and get married because that's what people told us we were supposed to do. So the reason I'm so proud of our marriage and the relationship is that we didn't have, any knowledge of really what we were getting into. We both came from two-parent homes, so we saw that, but we were young, we were naive, we didn't know what we were doing. But not only have we been married for 31 years, but we both grew up and came out of that little small county. We built a life together. We have 2 adult children that are amazing humans. So I don't necessarily brag or care so much about the accomplishments, per se, of what kids are doing, if they are good humans. And I can say truly, I have good humans for children who are caring and loving and loyal. But as part of this union, we were able to build homes together. And we've had, again, because of the background of being that rural poor, I didn't know I was low income. Let me tell that part. So the reason I ended up going to college, because I didn't have an example, was I was part of a program called Upward Bound, which is that federally funded program. And they took me on a college tour. I didn't know anything about college. That was my one experience. And I said, I'm going to college after that one college experience. And so we both did that. I mean, we ended up going to college, but we've bought and sold 6 properties. We're now owning our 5th home. So I'm proud of what I've been able to build with my husband and that we've been together for 31 years. The second thing is my education because of the difference that it made, because I don't know what my life would have been had I not gotten my education. Where I came from, if you were to go get, a good job paying, a few, about $10, $15, $20 an hour, we had 2 major places you could work. It was a prison. We had 2 prisons in Buckingham County. Those are the major employers, or you're going to do something in the schools. And so education and getting my degree is something that I'm proud of, because even though I had to sit out for a few years, I was determined to go back. And so I was 26 when I graduated from college. And so I like to share that, because some young folk think if they don't do it directly out of college, or if they don't have this linear path, it's not going to happen. And so because of that education, I've been able to navigate, 2 career paths: education, being an educator and corporate, and now being a business owner, an entrepreneur, launching my own business. And then the third thing that I'm most proud of is really my legacy, because I know that I've touched lives, that I can unapologetically, one, give God the glory for what he's done in my life, but I've let my light shine. So whether it's, the things that I've done with my husband, we've mentored numerous couples, we've done premarital coaching and coaching for couples. And when I think about the impact on my students who others said weren't going to be successful, or that they would never do XYZ because of behavior, I was like, give them to me, give them to Miss Grimes. And so whether it's a mentee, those who are in my family who didn't know about college, right? And so because they saw Tasha do it, I was happy to be able to share. So the lives that I've impacted, to me, that's another thing, the third thing that I'm most proud of, because at the end of the day, we can accomplish things, but what is it that people will say about you? What's going to be said about me when I'm gone? And I believe that it will be my children will be able to say they had a mother who loved them, who supported them. My husband, can say he found favor with God when he found his wife, and then whose life did I impact? And so that's the thing that's important to me that I'm proud of, is the legacy also that I'll leave.
Good stuff. Well, what is your definition of success?
So, my definition of success is not about really money. A lot of people define success as when you hit a certain number, and that's all great. But for me, success is when you have peace, when you have joy, and freedom. And so for me, my definition of success is really building a life where I'm not like stressed over trying to get to that thing or obsessing over having stuff. Stuff is fine. But if you don't have peace and joy to enjoy that, then what good is all of that? So for me, success is that I've been able to, with God's grace, create a life
Yeah,
that
yeah,
is of peace and joy, where I'm not, having the anxiety and stress within a marriage or within my home with my children. It's not perfect by any stretch, but because of what we've been able to create, that's success for me. Like I feel like I'm successful every day that I'm here and I have peace and I have joy despite all of what's happening in the world. I'm good. So that's my definition of success.
I love that. So good. Well, as we close, I'd love for you to get an opportunity to share with the audience where they can go follow you and check you out and show you some love with all of the
Yeah.
amazing things you have going on.
Absolutely. So please absolutely follow me on Ascension Solutions, and I'll share that with you so that you can share with your audience. But Ascension Solutions on LinkedIn, you can find me there. I have a business page on Ascension Solutions, on TikTok, on Instagram and Facebook. So Ascension Solutions on all of those platforms. And if you are, someone that would love to have this story or the work that I do brought to your school as an educator or school leader, you can email me at info@ascensionsolutions.online. And so I would love to partner with school leaders and educators because that's still my passion is how can I be part of the solution and just not talking about the problems of
Yep.
education.
No doubt. I love it. I'm in that same vein too. Like I won't say anything negative about education ever because I know the importance of what it did for me. And I
Absolutely.
know the importance of what I've strived to do for it because of what it did for me.
Right.
Right. So
Right.
I will never say anything negative. And if I have an issue, well, I can be part of the solution. Get my butt
Yeah.
in there and be part of the solution
Yeah.
if it's a
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah. Yeah. Because if
Right.
teachers are burning out and all of that's
Yep.
happening, what can I do to help them? I know where my strengths lie in that, helping with classroom management and building
Yeah.
an engagement and inclusive classrooms. I want to be part of that solution. So
Yeah. Well,
thank
if
you
you
for
don't
having me.
mind, yeah, of course. Thank you for being on. If you don't mind, can you spell your Ascension Solutions out so people will
Sure.
know?
Absolutely. So Ascension, Ascension, and solutions, it's all one word, Solutions. And then my email is info@ascensionsolutions.online.
Good deal. Well, again, thank you so much for taking the time to interview with the Success Chronicles. Truly appreciate it, and I wish you continued success.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me on.
All right. And thank you guys for checking out this episode. We'll see you next time. God bless. Go get it.